There's the horse head used in the movie Godfather. So we are here today at the Academy Award Museum. And as you can see, they got a restaurant in here called Franny's. And it looks really cool. It's got that old style feel of, 1940s, when Hollywood was really kind of getting going. And you can get photo ops in here. You kind of start your adventure right here. And you just kind of sit in there, and it just shows you clips from movies and whatnot. And then they have a gift store over here. The museum also has like a walkout where you can see the Hollywood sign. And it is exactly, I want to say 4 floors. And it's a bunch of series of rooms, mostly reading or just watching video clips. That's the majority of it. And we're gonna go see the highlights. I'm gonna really just focus on the sci-fi stuff, horror, things like that. As you walk through here, you'll see costumes, lots and lots of videos showing you who won the awards. And these right here are
costumes
that were worn by
think of a greater honor
the
given this award
people
by
who
Lillian Hellman.
attended
Many people
the
worked
Academy
on this
Awards.
film, donating their time and energy, and without it, it could never have been made.
And this is dedicated to music. Oh, excuse me. And there is a picture of Jim Morrison. And there's a lot of Jim Morrison here, actually. And there's like letters and all kinds of stuff here. It's like a diagram. And look what we have in front of us. A movie camera. Obviously. And we are in the Academy Awards Museum. And we're just kind of looking around. And look at one of the things they have sitting right here at the Academy Awards Museum. There's the horse head used in the movie Godfather. And they have different like props, and it's really a lot of displays. That's pretty cool. That's the horse head. A lot of displays. And check this out right here. A recreation of the set of Godfather. Which a lot of people love that movie. It says the original desk and chair from Corleone's office. There it is. So if you're a fan of the movie Godfather, that is the chair that Marlon Brando would have sat in. Right there. And that is the desk. And there it is. The desk from The Godfather and the chair of Marlon Brando. Right here at the Academy Awards. Obviously, they celebrate the movie The Godfather. And again, there's the horse. The dead horse that was on the guy's bed. Send a message. Don't mess with us. And then here's some scenes, photos of them filming it. And what do we got over here? A makeup kit. People love that movie, The Godfather. I think it's gotten kind of dated, personally. That's just me. And then here's the book and a shooting script. from the movie The Godfather. There's pages where they were, from the script. I don't think the movie has, aged well, personally. And then they'll show you some storyboards. And there's just a lot of stuff here. And this place is 4 different floors. And I'm going to show you something that I noticed over here.
Donors, institutional support,
and then here's
TC Films,
about people who won Academy Awards.
For his courage.
But check this out. Here's some real Academy Awards over here. And there's one that caught my eye. And I want to say it's this one. There's one for E.T. for special effects. And trying to find it. Bram Stoker's Dragon for best costumes. So that was given out for the award for best costumes. Pretty cool. Getting back to The Godfather, I just think they're, like when you think of gangster movies, Casino, Goodfellas, Pulp Fiction, I think have passed up Godfather by leaps and bounds. That's my personal opinion. So I'm gonna walk around, show you the museum, skim around in here. It's located near Hollywood, of course, right next to the other museum about, with the mastodons, I'm trying to remember what it's called, oil pit or something like that. There's a whole series of museums right next to this place, including the Peterson Auto Museum. And you can see just more and more museums, and they're building some down there. If you look down there, you'll see that they're building more museums. So let's go up. One of the things I noticed right off the bat, right there, is a shark. That could only be from Jaws. One of my favorite movies. I love that movie, Jaws. I really don't watch the Academy Awards anymore. It's gotten a little too political. But if I was to tell you what my real reason why I don't like the Academy Awards is, why don't they do an award for like best horror sci-fi? I don't know. Or action comic, something like that. Nobody wants to, see who wins the award for a movie they've never seen. That's just my opinion. And now this is supposed to be Jaws from the mold. And so they made be like a 24-foot Jaws. Let's see what's in here. We're just kind of walking through. So this is called The Path to the Film Industry, showing you how they sort of came about. And it kind of started with these kinds of things, where you would flip them and it would show you that he's running, or these wheels. And right here, these used to be really popular before film, and you would peek in there and it would look like something's happening. People would put money in these machines. Can you imagine never before seeing a photograph, a film, or anything, and seeing something move? This museum is 4 levels, and it has multiple rooms. Now this section is called the future of cinema. And I'll tell you, I actually was recently on a film set. And you see these LCD screens? They make, these things will be 40, 50 feet high. They'll make them, and they'll film inside of them. They can create a whole entire city. And what do we got here? Here is a prop from the movie Dark Crystal. It's very dark in here. This is called a matte painting that would be used. And you know James Cameron, that's what he did when he first started. He was an artist. And what do we have here? Check that out. Very neat. This says, that is, remember Pee Wee Herman when he was in the Batman Returns? That was his mansion at the beginning of the movie. And here is another example of a matte painting. And there you go. There's the penguin visiting his parents' grave. And what do we got here? There is a prosthetic from Batman Returns. I would say that it's very iconic penguin. Now I will say that the new penguin was really good. And here is a mask used in the movie Lord of the Rings. Now what do we have here? Gary Oldman's costume from Dracula. Check that out. If you don't love that movie, there's something wrong with you. And look at this. Here is Johnny Depp's costume and his hands from the movie Edward Scissorhands. That is another classic. That if you don't love that movie, like what's going on with you? And you know, all of those scissors and everything would be like, you know, fun. So nobody would really get hurt by them. Check it out. Very cool. Oh, this movie won an Academy Award right here. And there he is. This was actually displayed at Monsterpalooza a couple years ago. The prosthetic worn by Doug Jones in the shape of water. Right here on display. And then here is the animatronic of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator. And look, you can see all the wiring. Very cool. And this would have been for the first Terminator movie. That's when you had to do all the effects practical. They don't do that anymore. And what do we have here? This is from Blade Runner. And we have another set piece right here. From 2001 Space Odyssey. Look at the craftsmanship put into it. I mean, like, can you, maybe Death Star was kind of stolen from this, right? That kind of looks like the Death Star. Maybe just a little. Oh, look at this. This is the costume I want to say from Donnie Darko, the rabbit. Do you know who's got a copy of that mold right there? Immortal Mass. anyone has actually, that watches movies today, has actually seen the movie 2001 Space Odyssey. It's hard to watch. And there is a mask. Look at the, right there you can see a strap that would go around his neck. That's from the movie Alien. I tried to watch 2001 Space Odyssey. It was painful. Just like stuff never happens. This was the costume from Star Wars. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it says. It says it's made from fiberglass, plastic, metal, and rubber. I can only imagine what that would sell for in an auction. There would be millions. Millions and millions and millions. Huh. And here is R2-D2. And I want to say the actor Kenny Baker would sit inside of that thing and drive it. And I would imagine he would look through that right there. So it's very cool. These are really cool pieces on display. And then they have kind of like a video room here.
From thousands of miles beyond your planet.
Excuse me. And let's walk over here. Oh, and here is a costume from the Black Panther. And here's like a little miniature animatronic. Look at all the work that was put into that. And you know that's old. Because, look over here. They don't even make those anymore. Those kind of connections, you know, you would put into your computer. It's pretty old. And there's a capture. That's Zoe. She was also in Guardians of the Galaxy from Avatar. And we move on. These are miniatures from the different heads to show the different expressions for Nightmare Before Christmas. Jack, Pumpkin, Skeleton King. And so they would just keep changing his heads to make him talk. And this was a movie that I really liked. Right here. Corpse's Bride. And that would be the mannequin that they would use. You see, you would take the head off and then it would move the eyes, move the mouth. Great movie, Corpse's Bride. And here's a miniature. I would say the main thing here at this museum is really just sort of the appreciation of films and, you know, very typical of a museum. A lot of reading, seeing clips, and so on and so forth. They've got this little spot right here where you can walk out and observe Hollywood, which is kind of interesting. And if you're an expert of all things Hollywood, you probably could point your finger at a lot of stuff and say, this is this, this is that. Really cool view. And look at that. That guy's running into some sort of cave with a big boulder. It's very interesting. And if you look over here, there's a museum that they're building right there. And then on the other side of that, and if you could look, and I'll show you, you see where those like tusk looking things are. There's a museum over there. Something to do with like mastodons and dinosaurs. And then look over here. What is that? Way, 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 way in the distance. Up there. That's the Hollywood sign. Right over there. And here it is. A lot of movies was made here in Hollywood and in England. And the movie industry's changed quite a bit because of tax credits and whatnot. A lot of states have gotten in on that movie business, specifically Georgia. But there's a lot of states. Well, let's go back inside, see what else there is. We're back here in another section. And what do you have here but a live cast of Clark Gable? Here's a live cast of Don Sheedy.
And had it all mapped out. And then we did a test.
Mel Brooks up there.
I hadn't seen once.
This is Grace Kelly.
And
here's Jack Nicholson.
Now I didn't have time to do silk screens. So,
And by the way, this was a live cast done by Howard Berger, who is formerly of KMB Effects. You might know him better from Walking Dead. And there's Beetlejuice's hair. And there's the hair of Uma Thurman. And the hair of Robin Williams. Very cool.
Black Panther. First thing we were doing is more context.
And we have some costumes over here. What's this? A costume. There's Dick Tracy. Right there. If you've ever seen that movie, it kind of bombed. And I'm not sure what this costume's from. We can look. It's right here on the floor. It's from The Queen, worn by Julia Roberts. It's pretty big. And oops. It says Charlton Heston wore that costume right there. And then here, so we're just kind of skimming through here. Some more costumes over there. Was it cool seeing C-3PO and Edward Scissorhands?
That place was dumb.
He did not like it. I'm going to tell you what I thought of it. It wasn't that expensive. So there's really not a lot of props. It's more just looking at stuff. I didn't film the whole thing because basically it's just like sitting there watching TV screens, reading a lot. It has, you know, it gets kind of political as well.
Don't get hit by a car.
Oh, but there is something really cool across the street that I want to show you. And it's right here. This is the diner that has been in multiple movies. And it was served as Bernie Sanders' California headquarters. But it's actually more famous for something other than Bernie Sanders. And let's take a look in here. One of my favorite movies of all time. Riley, do you like this movie? Big Lebowski?
That is not one of your favorite movies.
Oh, yes, it is.
No, it's not.
And right here, you can see, right there, if you can see in there, this is where they filmed the scene in Big Lebowski. And it has not been opened back for quite a while. And you can see the Bernie Sanders stuff right here. Bernie's Coffee Shop 2020 menu. Break up the banks. I mean, it's littered with Bernie Sanders stuff. But this is actually the location of Big Lebowski. A really important scene where the dude and John Goodman's character get into a big argument. And this is it right here. This is where they filmed it. And it's right across the street from the Academy Award building and the Peterson Museum, which is basically all cars. And here it is. And look at it now. It's Bernie Sanders piano. It's Bernie Sanders like everything. It's pretty insane, actually. And it's right across the street from the Academy Awards. Johnny's Coffee Shop Restaurant. You can go watch Big Lebowski. It's been featured in many other movies as well. But we hope you liked this museum. I actually came here because I thought, oh, you know, they're gonna have a bunch of horror sci-fi, so they had some stuff. But I would highly recommend, instead of coming here, if you like horror and sci-fi, comic book stuff, is to go to Icons of Darkness. Much better. But if you do come here, you can see Big Lebowski, right, Riley? And there it is. And if you're a fan of Bernie Sanders, you can join the political revolution. Of course you can. Until next time.
For scary videos and more, subscribe to our YouTube page, huntworld.com.